This video is for my friend Kyle. Basically, I'm going to be showing my whole CD collection. So I have 2 racks of CDs, so yeah, I'm going to split this into 2 parts. So in part 1 I'm going to be doing this rack, and I'll show the other rack in the second video. So the first one I have here, this is David Bowie's Toy, the box set. Now, I didn't put this with my other David Bowie CDs because it doesn't fit on these shelves, so it's on the top. And we go on to Led Zeppelin, so we've got the debut album, Led Zeppelin 2, Led Zeppelin 3, Led Zeppelin 4, Physical Graffiti, my favourite Led Zeppelin album, Houses of the Holy, Presence, Into the Outdoor, and then we go on to Deep Purple, so Shades of Deep Purple, Book of Taliesin, Self-Titled, Deep Purple in Rock, my favourite Deep Purple album, Into the Fire, Live in Stockholm, Fireball, Machine Head, Who Do We Think We Are, Deepest Purple, the very best of Deep Purple, Under the Gun, just a compilation, and another compilation, this one's called Icon. And then we move on to Queen, so we have the debut album, Queen 2, Sheer Heart Attack, Night at the Opera, my favourite, and then Day at the Races, News of the World, Jazz, The Game, Flash Gordon soundtrack, Hot Space, The Works, Kind of Magic, Live Magic, Live at Wembley 1986, The Miracle, Innuendo, Made in Heaven, and Platinum Collection, so it's greatest hits. And then this is the Cosmos Rocks, their collaboration with Paul Rodgers. And then we move on to the Beatles, so we have Please Please Me, With the Beatles, Hard Day's Night, Beatles for Sale, excuse me, Help, Rubber Soul, Revolver, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, Magical Mystery Tour, my favourite Beatles album, and the White Album, Yellow Submarine, Abbey Road, Let It Be, Let It Be Naked, which is an alternative mix of Let It Be with the overdubs stripped away. Past Masters, which basically collects up all the singles and B-sides that did not appear on the albums. Live at the BBC. On Air, Live at the BBC Volume 2. Anthology Volume 1. Anthology Volume 2. And Anthology Volume 3. And Love, which is a mashup of different Beatles songs. And then move on to the Rolling Stones. So we have England's Newest Hitmakers, 12 by 5, the Rolling Stones Now, Out of Our Heads, December's Children and Everybody's, Aftermath, Between the Buttons, Flowers, which is a compilation of B-sides and unreleased songs. Satanic Majesty's Request, my favourite Stones album. Beggar's Banquet, Let It Bleed, and a few compilations. This one's Hot Rocks, 1964, 1971, and then more Hot Rocks, Big Hits and Phased Cookies. The Singles Collection, The London Years, Sticky Fingers, Exile on Main Street, Goat's Head Soup, It's Only Rock and Roll, Black and Blue, Some Girls, Emotional Rescue, Tattoo You, Undercover, Dirty Work, Steel Wheels, Voodoo Lounge, Stripped, it's a live album, Bridges to Babylon, and then another compilation. This is 40 Licks, Live Licks, Bigger Bang, soundtrack to Shine a Light, which is their concert film, and Blue and Lonesome. And then we move on to the Kinks. So it's their debut album. Kinda Kinks, The Kink Controversy, Face to Face, Something Else by The Kinks. The Kinks are the Village Green Preservation Society, probably my favourite Kinks album. Arthur, or The Decline of the British Empire. And this is 2 albums. This is Lola vs Power Man and The Money Go Round, and the Percy soundtrack. So, yeah. BBC Sessions, 1964, 1977. And this is a Greatest Hits, the Ultimate Collection. And then we'll move on to The Who. So, we've got My Generation, a quick one. The Who Sell Out, my favourite Who album. Tommy. Who's Next? Quadrophenia. Quadrophenia film soundtrack, and then a couple of greatest hits. This one's called Then and Now, and this one is The Who Hits 50, which was released for their 50th anniversary. And then move on to some David Bowie. None of these are in alphabetical order, by the way. They're just random order, although all the band's discographies are in chronological order. So we've got his debut album, and this is a compilation called Space Oddity, which is basically some the greatest hits of his early years. And Space Oddity, the album, it has the same title as that compilation. Man Who Sold the World, Hunky Dory, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, Aladdin Sane, Diamond Dogs, David Live, Station to Station, probably my favourite Bowie album, Heroes, Lodger, Let's Dance, Never Let Me Down, Bowie Singles Collection, Black Tie, White Noise, The Buddha of Suburbia, another compilation, Greatest Hits, Nothing Has Changed, and then his last album, Black Star. And then move on to Pink Floyd. So Piper at the Gates of Dawn, my favourite Floyd album. Saucer Full of Secrets, Relics, which is basically a greatest hits, Medal, Obscured by Clouds, Dark Side of the Moon, Wish You Were Here, Animals, The Wall, and Division Bell. And then we move on to Rory Gallagher. So this is original album classics. So this has 5 of his albums. So it has Deuce, Calling Card, Top Priority, Jinx, and Fresh Evidence. This one's called Blues. This is a collection of unreleased songs. And I have some Electric Light Orchestra, or ELO for short. So we have their debut album, El Dorado, Out of the Blue, my favourite ELO album, and I have the ELO original album classics. So this has On the Third Day, Face the Music, A New World Record, Discovery, and Time. And Secret Messages, Balance of Power, ELO Part 2, which is ELO without Jeff Lynne, the very best of the Electric Light Orchestra, Zoom, and Alone in the Universe. And then move on to the Yardbirds. So this is called Smokestack Lightnings, essentially combines their first two albums together. And this one is Roger the Engineer. I think that's their best album. And got the Monkees original album series. So this has the debut album, More of the Monkees, Headquarters, Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn and Jones Limited, my favourite Monkees album, and The Birds, the Bees and the Monkees. And I have a couple of compilations by the Monkees as well. This is 20 Greatest Hits and the Definitive Monkees. And move on to the Animals. This is the Complete Animals. Basically, yeah, this essentially combines their first two albums. And then this is a 2-album set, The Winds of Change and The Twain Shall Meet. Twain Shall Meet, I think, is my favourite of these two. And this is just a compilation of live tracks and re-recordings. And then we move on to Cream. So this is Fresh Cream, Disraeli Gears, Wheels of Fire, and Goodbye Cream, and The Very Best of Cream. And then the Beach Boys. So I have Pet Sounds, definitely their best album. Everyone should have that. And this is the Platinum Collection, so just greatest hits. And this is the original Bad Company anthology, so greatest hits of Bad Company. And I've got some Guns N' Roses, so Appetite for Destruction, their best album without a doubt. Lies, Use Your Illusion 1, Use Your Illusion 2, and the Sympathy for the Devil CD single. And then I have just 2 compilations here. This is Jefferson Airplane, Gold Collection, and the Very Best of Cat Stevens. So that's part 1 of my CD collection, and I'll be back with the second part in just a bit.